My stepsister put saffron in my brown sugar water during the college entrance examination. I had such severe abdominal pain that I was carried out of the examination room. Menstrual blood stained half of the stool red. My father didn't take it seriously and said, "Your sister is just a child." My stepmother with her big belly sneered, "How could there be so much blood during a normal period? Maybe she's got some dirty disease." Grandma thought I was too costly. "You have to go to the hospital just for an exam? You're always getting sick and spending money. Why don't you just die?" I died from excessive blood loss. When I opened my eyes again, I had gone back to the time before my stepsister drugged me. I took away the brown sugar water and replaced it with the calming tea my stepmother used for her nerves. That night, the sound of the ambulance downstairs rang throughout the neighborhood. In my previous life, I shouldn't have died so easily. Grandma was so stingy that she didn't allow me to stay in the hospital for observation. She forcibly pulled out my foredrip and dragged me, anemic and dizzy, to walk 5 kilometers home. "I've never heard that a woman could die from her period," she said. "Besides, your stepmother is about to give birth in 2 months. Don't we need to spend money on milk powder and diapers? Why don't you think about the adults?" The doctor suggested prescribing some amoxicillin to prevent infection. Grandma flatly refused. "No need. We have it at home." Later she took out her own Vasprin for treating thrombosis and forced me to take it. Just a difference of 2 words. But it cost me my life. Grandma was afraid I'd go see the doctor again, so she locked the door before leaving. Girls nowadays are just too delicate. Grandma locked me in and then forgot about me. The next day my father's company organized a 5-day team-building trip in Sanya. He was the boss and could bring family members, except for me. The whole family went. The house stayed empty for 5 days. It was only after the neighbors smelled something bad and complained that my body was discovered. My family members didn't feel sad, didn't regret it, and didn't show grief. Because my stepmother gave birth prematurely, the Samuel family joyfully welcomed a big, fat grandson. Grandma even thought it was too unlucky to hold a funeral at such a time. She handed my after-death arrangements to an outsourcing team. From beginning to end, not a single relative attended. I couldn't figure it out. Why was I so cautious, so careful? Why did I try so hard to please them? Never competing with my stepsister for my father's affection, never making things difficult for him, yet end up like this. I was so unwilling. I really wanted to live again. When I opened my eyes again, I had gone back to the night before the college entrance examination. In this life, I don't want fatherly love, stepmother's love, or grandma's love at all. After evening self-study, I was changing my shoes at the entrance. My stepmother, Vivian, with her big belly, stuffed her shoes into the cabinet before I did. "Anna, be careful with your belly," I said lightly. Sure enough, my father was at home. He glared at me fiercely as if he wanted to kill me. "Anna, are you crippled or blind? She's my wife. Do you expect her to serve you?" My stepmother Vivian was my father's first love. Less than half a year after my mother died, he brought her home. He cherished her carefully and pampered her patiently. Even her daughter from her previous marriage, Ophelia, was the apple of his eye. Seeing that I was just standing there, he roared, "What are you standing there for? Go fetch some water." Washing the feet and massaging my pregnant stepmother was my job. Even though I was busy preparing for senior year exams, I never missed a day. Firstly, I understood how hard my father worked to earn money. Secondly, I wanted to get along peacefully with my stepmother. But most importantly, my mother had told me before she died, "Anna, after I'm gone, if your father lets another woman into the house, remember, don't cry, don't make a fuss, and don't run away from home. Believe me. Hold on until you're an adult and everything will be okay." She had left me an inheritance, enough to shake my father's position in the company. But I could only inherit it when I became an adult. I was killed before that day came. It was my own fault, for being too stupid in my previous life, for believing in the act of a kind father and a filial daughter. Not anymore. Now my father was waiting for me to kneel down and wash his first love's feet, but I leaned lazily against the wall. "Is the husband in this family dead? Your wife's feet are swollen like pig trotters during pregnancy, yet you still want your daughter to massage them? Could it be that a man's contribution to having a baby is only that 1 second? As I said that, I even made a gesture of losing the South Korean market. My father was stunned for a moment, unable to believe what he'd heard. Just as he was about to lose his temper, my stepmother held him back, tears shimmering. Husband, don't scare the child. Tomorrow is the college entrance examination. Anna dreams of going to Tsinghua University. My father sneered. If she can get into Tsinghua, I'll change the name of this house to hers. Vivian almost panicked hearing that but quickly calmed down. Oh, why argue with the child? Besides, if Anna goes to Tsinghua, she might settle down in Beijing. She won't need this house anyway. Where I settled down wasn't important. The key was that this bet couldn't be made, because she knew I'd win. During 3 years of high school, my stepmother always reported the bad news, never the good. When I ranked top 3, she didn't mention it. But if I made a small math error, she spread it everywhere. When I tore up a hooligan's love letter, she said nothing. But when that hooligan blocked me at school, she told my father I was out of control. As a result, in his eyes, I was a rebellious girl with average grades and a chaotic love life. Unexpectedly, after hearing what I said, my father waved his hand. All right then. We'll buy one in Beijing. My ears perked up. Dad, I want a 5-bedroom apartment with a living room. Vivian was shocked. Anna, you're still young. There's no need for such a big house. No, it isn't, I said, counting on my fingers. 1 room for Grandma, 1 for you and Dad, 1 for my sister, 1 for the baby brother in your belly, and 1 for me. It's just right. My stepmother said in a sarcastic tone, It's so kind of you to think of us old folks. In my opinion, a 6-bedroom apartment with a living room would be just right, with 1 room as your nursery. My father hugged her in his arms and coaxed her with a smile. Vivian, don't worry. The bet is about Tsinghua University, not Lanong Vocational School. She'll never be able to pass the exam in her next life. I quickly took out the gambling contract and handed over a pen, afraid that my father would go back on his word. Dad, should I sign or put my fingerprint? Sign it then. My stepmother was completely speechless. After taking a shower, I found that I had my period. It was 10 days later than usual and happened to coincide with the college entrance examination. I only found out later that Ophelia had added progesterone to my milk. This stepsister of mine, only 1 year younger than me, was just as vicious as her mother. This time I went downstairs 10 minutes earlier than in my previous life. Sure enough, through the door, I heard my stepmother and her plotting. That brat Anna has been pretending to be a White Lotus for 3 years, and we couldn't find a single flaw. Finally, she can't pretend anymore. Today she wants a house, dream on. Fortunately, I had been prepared for a long time. There was the rustling sound of plastic bags coming from inside. Mom, the saffron you asked for has been ground into powder. Good. Be careful when you put it in later. I always feel this girl seems a bit different. Ophelia laughed. How could that be? I put Detra tablets in Anna's drink for half a month and she didn't even notice. She was still annoyed that her period was delayed. My stepmother sneered. At first, I just wanted this little brat to fail the exam and go to an ordinary technical school. Now it seems she won't even finish 1 exam. I got to the kitchen before Ophelia. I poured out the already boiled brown sugar water and put another cup of something similar in color in its place. It was the calming tea my stepmother drank every day. I bet Ophelia, that idiot, wouldn't be able to tell the difference. In the early morning, the heart-rending cry of a woman came. Samuel. Husband. I'm in such pain in my belly. Help me. Save me. When I opened the door, I saw my stepmother writhing on the sofa like a worm. There was a pool of red spreading under her. My father held her hand and kept comforting her. Vivian, don't be afraid. The ambulance will be here soon. Our baby will definitely be born healthy. I couldn't help but sneer. Damn man, it's so obvious whether he loves or not. On the day my mother died, my father said he had something to do at the company and refused to come. It was my grandfather who took a kitchen knife and forced him to come from the office. Seeing that my stepmother was losing her strength from crying, Grandma pulled my father aside. Save the baby. Save the baby. She had been dreaming of having a grandson for decades. The B ultrasound had already confirmed that it was a boy. Mom, why are you saying this now? Samuel, think carefully. You're 46 this year and Vivian is 40. In the future you won't have a problem, but will she still be able to give birth? Grandma had said such things countless times in front of my mother. My father had always turned a deaf ear to them, but once it was about Vivian, he couldn't bear to hear a word of it. Mom, even if Vivian doesn't have a child, I'll only love her. You love grandsons so much you can go and adopt one yourself. I'll pay for it. Grandma cursed and backed away to one side. I deliberately put on a worried look. Auntie has lost a lot of blood. Will there be postpartum infection? The doctor said amoxicillin can reduce inflammation. I have something with a ly sound. Grandma turned around and took out 2 pills, stuffing them into my stepmother's mouth. Mom, you can't take medicine randomly. My father didn't stop her. Nonsense. I take it every day and nothing's wrong. Is only your woman precious? The ambulance arrived downstairs. When the doctor saw the amount of bleeding, he was shocked. He asked, "Is the pregnant woman's platelet count normal? What's going on?" Even the blood from the needle hole when giving in-4 can hardly be stopped. My father had memorized every examination parameter of his first love. Normal. Everything is normal. The doctor asked again, "What about food?" Mom didn't have dinner tonight. She only drank the calming tea, Ophelia answered quickly. I knew my chance had come. Sister, didn't you put something in Auntie's tea? There was still some red powder left in the cracks of Ophelia's fingernails. In an instant my stepmother's pupils shrank. She guessed it, but she could only resign herself to bad luck. Damn you. My father stared at Ophelia deadly. Ophelia, what did you add? Speak. Ophelia's body was shaking like a sieve. I don't know, Dad. I didn't mean it. The doctor repeated again, family members must tell the truth. Otherwise, if something goes wrong. My father slapped Ophelia across the face. Still not talking? It's Saffron. The doctor was shocked. You're trying to kill the pregnant woman. My father was about to hit her again. I took a step back and started to stop the fight. Sister is still a child, Dad. I remembered, in my last life this was how he comforted me. My father raised his hand and slapped her again. 16 years old is no child. Ophelia's face was swollen. It's not my fault. Grandma also gave her medicine. When Grandma heard this, she immediately took out a blister pack of medicine. Don't talk nonsense. Mine is for reducing inflammation. The doctor was stunned. This is for anticoagulation. My father was so angry that he almost wanted to kill his mother for the first time. Mom, how many times have I told you, you can't take medicine randomly? You're old. It doesn't matter if you die, but the one in her belly is your grandson. It's funny, when Grandma's wrong medicines nearly killed me, he said nothing. I'll sacrifice my life for him. Can I sacrifice my old bones for him? Grandma knelt on the ground and cried. Ophelia was also sobbing. My stepmother was in so much pain she lost her voice, and my dad was so worried that his back was soaked with sweat. Only me. I was the only one in the family who remained completely unaffected. It turns out a slap only hurts when it's on the face of someone you care about. Except for me. The whole family went to the hospital and didn't come back all night. I had a good and sound sleep. The next day I went to the examination room on time. Without that woman causing trouble, I felt relaxed, both physically and mentally. When I was writing the composition, my mind emptied. I could even hear background music in my head. My grades had always been among the top 3 in the grade. After living this life again, not much time had passed and I hadn't missed any knowledge points at all. I answered the questions with great ease. At 8 o'clock in the evening, my dad called me for the first time ever. Both the mother and the child are safe, he said. However, they won't come back for the time being. The baby weighed only a gene and was premature. He's been put in an incubator and is receiving blue light treatment. At that time, lying inside, he was soft and pink, just like a little kitten. Through the receiver, I could feel the excitement in the man's voice when he was talking. Grandma asked beside him, "Have you chosen a name yet?" My dad said he had. "It's Leo. The Lu in Dawn. Vivian and I chose it 20 years ago." I smiled and hung up. I remembered when I was a kid I asked my dad what the Lu in my name meant. He was busy with a meeting and impatiently pushed me away. What else could it mean? It means replacing the crown prince with a civet cat. So that's how it was. Unfortunately, Dad thought his crown prince had arrived, but he didn't know this was also a civet cat. Mom told me before she died, "Your dad is no good." My dad started out in the real estate business. Once when he went to inspect a construction site, a steel plate fell on his thigh and he passed out. The doctor said that his reproductive system was injured. He needed surgery to either remove or repair it. The repair had a lower success rate. Mom didn't hesitate. Remove it. The operation was done without telling him. At that time she was already in the late stage of stomach cancer. She knew he had never forgotten his first love. So before she left, she did two things for me. First, she made sure I was Samuel's only child. Second, she transferred all her real estate properties and funds under her name to me. She left a business card. Anna, when you become an adult, go to Lawyer Hayes. My birthday is in August. It's only 2 months away. Soon, the college entrance examination was over, and I couldn't find an excuse not to go to the hospital anymore. As soon as I arrived at the door of the delivery room, I heard my stepmother acting coquettishly with my dad. Honey, I've already given birth to our son. Why are my feet still swollen? Then let Mom massage them for you. How could Mom do such a meticulous job? But Anna's massage skills are really comfortable. Unfortunately, she's the busiest at this time. What's there to be busy with? The exams are over. Dad took out his cell phone. I'll tell her to come right away and massage you. Goodness, he wanted me to come and take care of her during her postpartum period. The next second, the incoming call display lit up. Got it, Dad, I said and hung up. Fine. Let's see how good I am at this. When I rushed to the hospital with big and small bags in a hurry, my dad was even a bit shocked. Didn't I tell you to come immediately? Why are you? He paused and looked behind me. A large group of people were following me and some were even carrying video cameras. Why did you bring so many cameramen? I ignored him. In front of the camera, I put down 2 bags of diapers, 2 cans of milk powder, a postpartum belly belt and a stainless steel wash basin one by one. Did you record it, Brother Wong? I can do a profile shot too. Record it. Let's take a shot of your back view too. No problem. After 3 clicks, Dad finally couldn't bear it anymore and pulled me aside. Anna, what on earth are you doing? Oh, Dad, we're standing too far away. The sound can't be picked up. The next second, I raised my voice by 30 decibels in a broadcasting tone. Dad, I've come to take care of my stepmother during her postpartum period. Leave it to me, don't worry. The rich mezzo-soprano voice echoed through the ward. After that, I explained in a low voice. Dad, our teacher asked us to make vlogs after the exams and play them at the teacher appreciation banquet. I was filming that and then you called asking me to take care of the postpartum period. I thought I might as well film it all together to enrich the materials. Dad's face turned red and then pale. If the daughter takes care of the stepmother during the postpartum period, good grief. Where would he put his face? And it was going to be played at the school banquet? He couldn't even imagine it. Dad raised his hand to shoo the cameraman away. I don't need you. Take them and leave quickly. I looked disappointed. Is it that I don't need to take care of her today or that I won't need to take care of her in the future? It's very meaningful material. How about I make an appointment for another day? By the way, Dad, I even bought books and learned 35 postpartum massage techniques. I lied. In fact, what I'd read was postpartum care for psychopaths. Dad was already tired of hearing it. How noisy, get out. Bang. The door of the ward was mercilessly closed in front of me. I thought he'd never let me massage my stepmother again. Since I wouldn't do it, the task fell on Ophelia's shoulders. Dad asked her and she couldn't refuse. After all, I had been doing it all throughout my senior year. She was only in her sophomore year. Could she be busier than me? Besides, Vivian was her biological mother. Every time I saw Ophelia's red wrists, I couldn't help but add fuel to the fire. Wow, your hands are so red, sister. Dad and the others will be heartbroken when they see them, right? I'm different. They won't even let me touch her. You're so amazing. I'm so envious of people with real massage skills. Unlike me, I just ate and drank after the exams. As expected, after Ophelia entered the room, she smashed half of the things on the wall. Damn it. Am I a nanny? Didn't this kind of dirty work used to be Anna's? Why should it be thrown to me? Do you know I had my final exams today and my hands are shaking? My stepmother didn't know. It's much easier for a mother and daughter to be estranged than for a father and daughter. It took her 3 years to make Dad dislike me, but it only took me 3 days to drive Ophelia crazy. On the day my stepmother and younger brother were discharged from the hospital, Grandma was sent back to the countryside. I got 722 points in the college entrance examination, ranking first in the city, while Ophelia only got 501 points in her final exams, dropping 200 places. My stepmother couldn't save face and scolded her in front of relatives and friends. She's not cut out for studying. She doesn't know how to work hard. With such an excellent sister like Anna in front of her, she doesn't even know to ask for advice. Ophelia's eyes turned red, looking wronged. "Auntie, you've wronged my sister," I suddenly said. Ophelia only got 72 in Chinese because she didn't finish her essay. Her hand cramped halfway through the exam. The subtext was clear: because of massaging you. As soon as these words came out, Ophelia's eyes seemed to turn even redder, her grievance swelling. Comfort and understanding can make tears flow faster than scolding ever could. I continued softly, "Since your younger brother was born, have you ever spared even a little bit of your attention for your daughter?" She massaged until her wrists were red, just to make your swelling go down faster. "At that time, were you thinking of the daughter trying hard to please you, or the pink chubby son in the swaddling clothes?" These words really hit Ophelia's sore spot. She burst into tears in front of everyone. All the people who had been playing with the baby rushed to comfort the older child. The reputation of my stepmother being partial to sons over daughters spread. Over time, Ophelia began to believe it too. After that day, she gradually stood on the same side as me. I gave her tassel earrings, tassel headbands, tassel necklaces. Kids like shiny, jingling things the most. Sure enough, when she was taking care of her younger brother, he often tugged at her hair until I saw long strands clutched in his little fists. "Have you been losing hair recently?" I asked. She fiddled with her hair in the mirror. "Oh my God, it's true." Ophelia loved beauty too much to tolerate that. In anger, she started pulling her brother's hair back. My stepmother was furious. "You're the older sister. What's wrong with giving in to your younger brother?" That one sentence ignited everything. Ophelia picked up the child and rushed to the balcony. "Only your son matters, huh? If you had the ability, you shouldn't have given birth to me. Let's see who gives in to who on the way to the underworld." "Ophelia, no. Don't be impulsive." My stepmother's legs were trembling. After that, Ophelia lost the chance to be alone with her younger brother, and became even closer to me. "Are you going to Tsinghua University?" she asked me one day. "Yes, what's the matter?" "My mom asked me to find a way to steal your admission ticket and password, to change your application preferences when the time comes." Exactly as I expected. I smiled. "Then why did you come to tell me?" She sighed. "My mom plans to use the money that was supposed to buy you a house to set up an education fund for my brother. But I thought about it all night. It's better to give it to you than to him." As she moved, the hem of her clothes lifted, revealing a bruise. "Auntie hit you?" I asked. "It's okay. If she hits me, I'll hit her son." This girl was really unhinged but useful. The family held a full-month banquet for Leo. It was very fancy. Besides relatives and friends, there were also my dad's business partners. Ophelia told me that her mother calculated the family's working capital at 8 million yuan. If the education fund was set up, my house would be gone. After Dad finished entertaining clients, he was dragged away by Vivian. When he saw me, the corners of his eyes lifted smugly. My stepmother planned to imitate others and do a 1-year-old catch ceremony. There were gold bars, abacuses, medals, everything symbolic. And among them, a golden certificate engraved with education fund. I was impressed. He was really calculating. Just then, several cars stopped at the entrance of the hotel. Someone entered with a microphone. "Excuse me, is this the banquet celebrating Anna, the top scorer in the college entrance examination?" Dad froze. He hadn't planned to hold any banquet for me at all. Facing the reporters, he forced a smile. "Anna's banquet will be held a week after receiving the admission notice." Vivian looked very displeased. Another reporter asked, "Then where does Anna plan to fill her university preferences?" Before I could answer, a teacher stuffed a card into my hand. "Student, come to Peking University. Tuition will be waived and you'll get a 50,000 yuan scholarship every year." Another teacher interjected. "Tsinghua University welcomes you. We'll double the offer." More and more people gathered around. "President Samuel has good genes. The father of the top scorer." Dad's face was beaming with pride. Nobody cared about the little baby ceremony anymore. The cameras were focused on me. I shrugged. "Sorry, teachers from Peking University. I'm bowing down for a 5-bedroom apartment." I pulled out the bed agreement with my father. It clearly read, If Anna successfully gets admitted to Tsinghua University, her father, Samuel, will buy a 5-bedroom apartment in Beijing in full. With so many witnesses, my father couldn't deny it. He could only smile stiffly and agree, even pretending to be proud to show his integrity as a businessman. Suddenly, a scream came from the crowd. "Ah! Samuel's wife has fainted." My stepmother fell seriously ill during that period. She still tried to negotiate with my father. "Anna is still young. It won't be too late to buy the house when she gets married. It can be used as a wedding room." I shook my head. "Andy, it takes 1 year to decorate and 3 years for ventilation. I'll graduate and get my marriage certificate then. Buying it now is just right. What house needs 3 years of ventilation?" Whine. My father got annoyed. "Vivian, it's just a house. I already made the promise. If I don't buy it, where will I put my face?" It was the first time I saw him being harsh to his first love. "What about me and my son?" Vivian cried. "What do you mean by you and your son? Have I left you homeless or hungry? But the money you're spending is our joint property." My father fell silent, then stood up and left. But in truth, they weren't even legally married. Vivian's ex-husband had gone to prison, and they never finalized the divorce. Legally, she was still another man's wife. My father was, strictly speaking, the third party who destroyed someone else's marriage. Ophelia had a tendency to abuse others. She would grip her younger brother's neck until his face turned red and purple, just to watch him struggle. She would use her nails to pinch words onto his soft skin. She would even prick the baby's head with needles. I had known this for a long time. After all, I was once her victim too. Finally, my stepmother noticed the baby's injuries. She began secretly asking about something called a second child training camp. I let her find both paper and electronic information about it. Some parents said that after sending their rebellious older children there, their homes became peaceful. The children came back obedient, willing to cook, wash, and even carry their younger siblings like little servants. They no longer fought or competed. Little did my stepmother know that those camps used electric shocks, beatings, and torture to train kids into submission. It wasn't unjust at all that Ophelia would soon be sent there. 2 days later, my father went on a business trip. That night, a heavy rain fell. I watched from my window as several men in black dragged a screaming Ophelia into a van. Her cries echoed down the street. "My methods are disgusting? Are they as disgusting as yours? Or as Mr. Walker's?" "Yes, Mr. Walker, the family driver." After the exams, I had started investigating Leo's true father. Vivian had always acted virtuous, rarely going out, always accompanied by the driver when she did. Until one night I found my father searching for hangover medicine. "Dad, did you have a candlelight dinner again?" "What candlelight dinner?" He swallowed the pills. "Since Vivian got pregnant, we haven't gone out once." That's when I realized the truth. Vivian's gentle outings were actually secret meetings with the driver. How bold of Mr. Walker. Driving my father's car, using his money, sleeping with his woman, and fathering his child. All right under my father's nose. It was only a matter of time before I had the evidence. I collected Mr. Walker's hair and installed a camera in the car. Once exposed, my father would be devastated. Perfect timing to make him buy my Beijing house. At dinner, I took out my admission notice from Tsinghua University. Before I could say anything, my father said, "I've looked at the house you chose. It's not far from Tsinghua, fully furnished. You can move in right away." He pushed a bank card toward me. "Sign the contract soon. Don't waste time." My stepmother was furious. She pinched the baby hard, making him cry. "All you know is to spoil her. Nothing in this family belongs to you, Leo." My father snapped. "Vivian, why are you acting like a shrew now?" She glared. "Should I act like your deceased wife, working hard her whole life and getting nothing in return?" Then she looked at me, eyes gleaming with hatred. "Anna, do you even know? The day before your mother died, your father and I were still in bed together. He said he hated her sick smell and didn't even visit her at the hospital before she died. What a pitiful woman." I smiled coldly. In fact, my mother wasn't pitiful. She knew everything. She even looked forward to death, because her first love was waiting for her there. My father was just a substitute. Vivian's smile froze. I walked straight up to her, grabbed her hair, and forced her to look at me. "What about you? Besides my father, who else have you slept with?" She went pale, pushed me away, and stormed off, leaving my father drinking alone. Later, drunk and muttering, he slurred, "Anna, do you think Dad was wrong? Your mother was such a good woman. Why didn't I cherish her? Vivian's just here for money. I really suspect she's cheating on me." I said softly, "No need to suspect, Dad. The driver, Mr. Walker." After that night, my father and Vivian began a cold war. For once, peace filled the house. On my birthday, I bought a cake, went to my mother's grave and whispered, "Mom, it's funny. Dad still doesn't know he's been deceived. He's happy thinking Leo's his son. Do you know whose child Leo really is, Mom? Mr. Walker's. I have the report." I smiled sadly. "Mom, you always said to hold on until I became an adult. I'm 18 now. It's time." That evening I went to see Lawyer Hayes. "Uncle Hayes, are you saying my mother left me 80 million yuan?" He nodded. "Yes. Your mother liquidated the couple's assets before she passed. She owned 2 houses, 40% of company shares and 5 million in funds. With investment growth, it's now around 80 million. I was stunned. He continued, "The houses are in your name. The company shares were held by your father on your behalf until you turned 18. I realized then, the house Vivian and Samuel lived in was actually mine." "Mom," I whispered later that night, "I finally understand what you meant. It's time to pack their luggage and throw them out." I sold my 40% company shares to a rival firm. The business started collapsing. Still, Vivian was scheming. On her birthday, she threw a lavish party. That evening, she clung to my father's arm as they greeted guests. Mr. Walker hovered nearby. "Anna's here," she said sweetly. "Is that a gift for me?" "Yes." I smiled and opened the box, a facial recognition clock-in machine. I demonstrated it. Beep. The card of the most beautiful girl in the universe. Everyone laughed. Vivian tried it next. Beep. The card of the one with longer life than legs. Even Mr. Walker laughed and the device scanned his face. Beep. Mr. Walker's card. The guest chuckled, but then my father tried it too. Suddenly, the machine's robotic voice said, "Beep, cuckold card." The room went silent. Vivian froze. Mr. Walker stammered. It's broken." Guests whispered. Laughter broke into murmurs. Then on the big screen a video began playing, Vivian and Mr. Walker together in his car. Her flushed face filled the screen as he whispered, "When will our son call me Daddy?" The crowd gasped. Vivian tried to shut it off but failed. My father stood trembling. Mr. Walker fell to his knees. "President Samuel, please." It was her. "She seduced me." Vivian also knelt, grabbing Samuel's leg. "You said it when we were young. If I move a foot, you'll move a mile toward me. Get out of my sight." Samuel roared, kicking her away. The jade bracelet she always wore shattered on the floor. One grandma had called a family heirloom. I snapped a photo and sent it to Grandma. "Seems your precious family line won't carry on after all." Days later, Grandma watched the video and had a stroke. Meanwhile, Samuel's company fell apart after I sold the shares. With debts mounting, he lost clients, reputation, and finally the house. As for me, I moved into my 5-bedroom apartment in Beijing. I hung a little sign on the door. "Exquisitely furnished apartment for rent. Only to good-looking boys and girls from Tsinghua University." As for Vivian, she couldn't afford to pay for Ophelia's training camp. So guess who came back to live with me? Ophelia. Karma always finds its way home.